Welcome. Take a quiet breath and allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. Today I'm opening a doorway for you, not merely into a book, but into a living current of spiritual transformation. A current that flows through the ancient stream of Hermetic wisdom, through mysticism, through the timeless longing of the human soul to return to its divine origin. The work we are entering today is not about information, it is about refinement, it is about inner alchemy. It is about the sacred process through which the human being becomes transparent to the divine. This book exists to illuminate a dimension of spiritual training that is often overlooked, the mystical heart of the Hermetic path. Many seekers approach spiritual science as a system of methods, of exercises and disciplines, of powers to be cultivated. But the true path is never only technical. It is a path of transformation of being. And this book serves as a bridge between metaphysical training and mystical realization, between power and love, between knowledge and union, between effort and grace. Its deeper purpose is to restore balance, because true spiritual development requires two wings. One wing is structured training, discipline, practice, mastery of energies, consciousness, and universal laws. The other wing is mystical refinement, devotion, love, surrender, purification, and the awakening of divine qualities within the soul. Without structure, mysticism becomes vague longing. Without mysticism, structure becomes dry technique. Only when both unite does real transformation begin. This book invites you into that union. At its core, the teaching revolves around a simple yet profound triad. Clear yourself, heal yourself, refine yourself. These are not poetic ideas, they describe the actual stages of spiritual evolution. First comes purification, the clearing of imbalance, illusion, distortion, emotional wounds, and unconscious patterns. Then comes healing, the restoration of harmony in mind, soul, and body. And finally comes refinement, the alchemical transformation of human nature into divine expression. This is the ancient work of transmutation, the journey from raw metal to gold, not symbolic gold, but living spiritual radiance. Within this book, the spiritual path is revealed as a gradual awakening of the entire human being. The mind becomes still and transparent. The emotional nature becomes balanced and luminous. While the energy increases, the elemental forces within the soul come into harmony. Light becomes nourishment. Intuition awakens, consciousness expands beyond time and space. The human being becomes increasingly aligned with universal intelligence. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the center of identity shifts. You no longer experience yourself merely as a personality navigating life. You begin to experience yourself as a field of awareness, a vessel of divine presence, a living microcosm reflecting the macrocosm. The initiatory journey described here is not abstract. It is experiential. You may encounter deep stillness, a silence so complete that the mind becomes like a clear sky without clouds. You may experience powerful currents of energy moving through the body. You may feel inner light intensifying, intuition sharpening, and perception expanding. You may discover that emotional wounds dissolve and heal, that compassion arises naturally, that love becomes less personal and more universal. You may feel drawn toward higher ideals, toward truth, toward service, toward alignment with something greater than yourself. These are not goals to force, they are natural consequences of refinement. One of the central revelations of this work is that transformation is not optional. If you truly walk the spiritual path, you cannot remain the same. Your perception changes, your values change, your relationships change, your inner structure changes, even your sense of reality changes. Spiritual development is not an addition to your life, it is a reconfiguration of your entire being. And this book prepares you for that reality, gently, honestly, and with deep reverence for the magnitude of the path. A particularly sacred theme within these teachings is the mystical union of consciousness and creative power, often symbolized as the union of Shiva and Shakti, divine awareness and divine energy, stillness and manifestation, witness and creation. When these unite within the human being, the inner centers awaken, the energy system becomes radiant, and the soul enters a state of profound integration. This is the mystical wedding, the reconciliation of all duality within the heart of the seeker. And love is the force that makes this union possible. Not effort alone, not technique alone. Love. Love for truth, love for the divine, love for life, love for all beings, and even love for your own wounded inner child, which must be healed, embraced, and integrated for true spiritual maturity to arise. This teaching is deeply relevant for modern life, because we live in an age of immense knowledge but little wisdom, great freedom but little inner orientation, powerful technology but fragile consciousness. The human being today stands between worlds, no longer held by traditional structures, yet not fully awakened to spiritual responsibility. This book offers a way forward. It shows that spirituality is not belief, it is conscious evolution. It is the integration of knowledge, freedom, responsibility, and universal values. It is the rediscovery of the divine center within the human being. Who is this book for? It is for sincere seekers, for those who feel that spiritual training must include the transformation of the heart, for those who sense that power without purity is incomplete, for those who long not only to understand reality, but to unite with its source, for those willing to undergo gradual refinement, patiently, steadily, reverently. This is not a path of quick results, it is a path of deep becoming. Ultimately, this work supports awakening in the most complete sense. It supports the unfolding of divine qualities. It supports mastery of consciousness, and it supports the harmonization of the human and the cosmic. It supports the realization that the microcosm and macrocosm are one living continuum. And it reminds us of a timeless truth spoken by the mystics. Rise and become light. If you feel called to explore this path more deeply, I invite you to approach the book not as a reader but as a participant. Let the teachings work within you. Let them refine perception, intention, and presence. If you wish to receive deeper initiatory training, you may continue your journey through the teachings and guided practices of four mystics. And if your soul longs for structured spiritual evolution within a living tradition, you are welcome to walk the path of Ordo Mysticus. The door is open. Enter when you are ready. Love, light and service, I am Ray del Sol.